Tvaya Brahma Agata Shrihi Utatvaya Tvaya Jushtaschitram Vindate Vasusano Jushasva Dravino Namedhe Medham Ma Indro Dadatu Medham Devi Saraswati Medham Me Ashvina Ubhavadhattam Pushkarasraja Apsara Suchaya Medha Apsara Suchaya Medha Gandharveshu Chayanmanaha Daivim Medha Saraswati Samam Medha Surabhirjushatag Swaha Medha Surabhirjushatag Swaha Amam Medha Surabhir Vishwarupa Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya Urjaswati Payasa Pinvamana Samam Medha Supratika Jushantam Yeah. So we are seeing this fifth verse, fifth mantra, very beautiful chant, and Mam Medha, Mam Jushantam, may Medha bless me. Here has to go with that which has gone previously, and where is that previously? I will tell you in a second. Samam Medha Surabhihi Jushantam. So has to come with somewhere where the other verb, other part of the verb is there, and that we'll look later and tell. This is a very interesting construction. It's a Vedic construction. We are not allowed to do it. Om Ganana Antva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvam Utibhisida Sadhanam. That goes with Asida. Please come and sit. But that is here, which is a prefix. You cannot separate the prefix from the word. except if you are channeling the Vedas, certain things are allowed. And so this also goes somewhere where it says, please abide, please come, please sit. Aghat, yes, from the very first word, that aghat, that is repeated here, it has to go with aghat. Medha Devi Jushamana aghat, naha aghat, come to me, come to us. That has to go there because it's a typical, what is that called? It's a typical Vedic construction which we see. Like asida sadhanam, Asida means please come and abide. And asida means abide without going away. And completely abide. Don't just send a little portion of you. Come fully, to answer this prayer. But that is separated from where it should belong here also. That is what it means. So, Mam, we know now. Mam Jushanta, may Medha bless me. And what kind of Medha is she? We have seen some of this. She is the wish-fulfilling cow of self-knowledge, really. That is the one. So what are the desires of a person who is having self-knowledge? Desire for self-knowledge. What other desires will be there? Yes, we can say no other desires. Very good answer. But within the realm of desiring self-knowledge, there are certain few satellite desires. What are they?
Good health.
Good health, very nice. Yeah. So stirairangaihi Tushtuvagam sastanubhihi, good health, very good. What else?
Clear mind.
Clear mind, yes. Freedom from ragadveshas and getting the six-pack. Don't forget, that's a very important desire. What is the six-pack? Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, and all of them, Viveka, Vairagya, all of them are basically what is the main thing that is the source of Shama, the main thing that is the source of Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha. What is the main thing, the only thing? That is Viveka. First is what is it that I really want, correct? So, because otherwise it is very difficult to have adhikaritvam. How are you going to look for adhikaritvam? How are you going to say this is really what I want? Because when you don't even, Shamadama doesn't look exciting to somebody who is not interested in self-knowledge. It looks very boring, And that's why when you start teaching Tattva Bodha, we saw that in one of the 1 month course, as soon as you say, Shamaha, Kaha, student asks, and then Damaha, Kaha, Bahyendra Nigraha, Damaha, the teacher explains in the text, and then as soon as you start to discuss that, and then everybody snoozes off because these are all beginners, and the beginners don't know why I have to have this, So no lecture on adhikaritvam is going to speak to someone. Beginner means the one who has not made this nishchayatmika buddhi. What is nishchayatmika buddhi? Yes, who has chosen self-knowledge and made that the main and only pursuit in their life. Other things they may do, but they subserve this pursuit. That is the buddhi, and that is what is the source of, that is why one prays to Medha Devi. Not how to rob a bank, ABC, please Medha, bless me to, do this successfully. I want this heist. And I'm going to have lot of Shama. I'm going to have equanimity. Like when I pass the cops, I will not show any reaction. And then I will have Dama. I will not biff them. Even if they catch hold of me, I will not biff them. This is, Shama Dama is of no use unless you want self-knowledge. You see that wanting self-knowledge, that mumukshutvam, jignasutvam, that desire for self-knowledge brings in the reasons to get qualified for self-knowledge. Otherwise there is no reason. Why should I qualify for self-knowledge? I mean, there is, because this is just a specific qualification. Like nobody is on a pre-med track if they don't want to study medicine. you take what is called in India a pre-med track, where you take chemistry, lot of anatomy, physiology, and all these courses, very difficult courses having to do with watching autopsies and things like that. Why would you do that if you want to become a banker? Nobody is going to do that, So that particular track will appeal to only people who have a calling for medicine and who want to make that their life's work. And so too, all these qualifications will only appeal to people who have made self-knowledge their primary goal in life. And for the sake of self-knowledge, Shama, Dama, all these qualifications, a calm mind, a non-reactive body, a mind that is free of too many irons in the fire, too many pursuits, a mind that is dedicated to karma yoga, a mind free of ragadveshas, a mind where I convert all my relationships and all my actions into yoga, where I make it such that they become a practice, a field, a kshetra, a field of practice, whereby I can become more and more calm and more contented with who I am. So I practice this karma yoga, and since it is difficult, I bring Ishvara into the whole thing. Otherwise, without Ishvara, there is no karma yoga. So I have to bring an altar of surrender where I can surrender my frustrations and the desires that don't go away, and then continue on this. And then that is so you see the whole the little clip that is holding everything together is Jignasutvam, desire for teaching. And the desire for teaching brings in all the other desires to qualify and all this. So the desire for to revel in this knowledge and to pursue this knowledge, who gives the ability to sift the chaff of the world and the husk of all the other things that glitter from the only thing that I really want, Goddess Medha. And then she also is the wish-fulfilling cow, because really, as you said earlier, there is not a lot of desires for one who is committed to self-knowledge. And the main desires have to do with developing the inner, what is it called? Temperament. The temperament to be able to assimilate the teachings. So all desires have to do with various aspects of developing this temperament. And then there may be another desire that the student of self-knowledge has, is that may there not be any obstacles to this pursuit. Please remove the obstacles to this pursuit. That is another desire that the student may have. So such kinds of desires, she is the wish-fulfilling cow. So imagine, Medha Devi sitting there, docile, loving looking, and whatever you ask, she gives immediately. That is the idea. To who? To a mumukshu. Not any other kind of shu, only mumukshu. Yeah. So the one who is committed to this teaching, the one who really wants, this is the person who is going to get this. And so that's why the word Surabhi, in the first instance, we were still into fame and all that, of admiring the wonders in the Gandharvas and the Apsaras. Verse number 4, where the concept of Surabhi, what is Surabhi here? The wish-fulfilling Kamadhenu cow, where the concept of Surabhi was introduced. And there we were only invoking Medha Devi as the universal intelligence that inheres in everyone, starting from the lowliest of ants to the celestial musicians and dancers. And then that may she bless me. So may she bless me with what? Intelligence. But again here, may she bless me, we cannot have the same thing reiterated twice with the same wish-fulfilling cow concept. And so therefore what? So therefore here it means something else. It means all the other, byproducts of this desire for the knowledge. May there be no obstacles. May I have a healthy body, a healthy mind, a ma vidvishavahai, which is a very important quality, thing. What is ma vidvishavahai? Where have we heard that? Bhagavad Gita. Sahana bhavatu. Not Bhagavad Gita. So what does that mean? Ma vidvishavahai means what? Tejasvinau adhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. What does that mean? Every day we are saying it for how many years?
Peaceful relationship.
Let there be no misunderstandings between myself and the teacher, between the teacher and the students. It's always in the dual. There may be many students, but it's always in the dual. Actually, vidvishavahai means let there ma vidvishavahai means let there be no hatred. But really speaking, the student will not hate the teacher. Why will they approach the teacher if they want to hate the teacher? And then the teacher, of course, a teacher of Vedanta will not hate a student. Never, not possible. So therefore, what is this Upanishad talking about the word hatred? What is this Upanishad doing using the word hatred in the Shanti Mantra for the Yajur Veda? We have to think about that. So here hatred has to be elaborated as misunderstanding and transference. May I not develop a wrong transference, the transference of my own hurts, pains and sorrows when it is done upon the teacher, because the teacher is, automatically represents an authority figure, and the teacher automatically represents all the difficulties that one had with the authority figures of the past, mother, father, whoever it is, teacher, Pope, whatever the authority figure, God, Ishvara, everything. And so may that not be a block for me. So that is also another wish here. So may this wish fulfilling Medha, bless me with these kinds of wishes. And what is she like? Hiranyavarna. Hiranyavarna means the color of gold. And gold is used because the shine cannot be separated from the metal. Yeah. And it's pleasing, it's resplendent, it's self-shining. It's not that you spray something on the gold and then it shines. It's self-shining, and that shine doesn't go away. Even if you paint the gold with tar, it is still self-shining. A shine that cannot be marred. And what is that Hiranyavarna? That Hiranyavarna that I am invoking is really this Hiranyavarna, this self-shining individual that I call Aham. That is the same Hiranyavarna, the shine of the Atma as a Jnanam, as a Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupa, that which always is, that which is always present, that which is always unchanging, that which never goes anywhere, that which doesn't disappear, that which is in the form of experience. Even though I keep saying I want to experience Atma, every experience is Atma. Atma is the experiencer, Atma is the experienced. Atma is that which is the truth, the content of the knower and the known, the experiencer and the experienced. That which is free of being either the experiencer or an object of experience. That is I, that is the self-shining I, whose shine never can be hidden. Even Ajnanam cannot cover Atma. Oh, Ajnanam cannot cover Atma? No. Oh, so I have been misled. I have attended so many classes. I am Atma, right? Yes, you are Atma. So then Ajnanam is not covering me? No. Then why am I attending the classes? Why should I answer all the questions? This one you figure it out. That's all I will say. What is the Ajnanam covering? Ajnanam cannot cover Atma, correct? Yes? Do you agree or not? First let us develop a consensus.
Yes.
Okay. Ajnanam cannot cover Atma, true or false?
True.
Okay. Then, If Ajnanam cannot cover Atma, then where is the cover?
My understanding.
Where is the cover? Where is the Ajnanam? The buddhi is as it, not even really covered, as though covered. We have to use as though. As though covered. And then for the ones who say Ajnanam asti eva, Ajnanam exists indeed. For such people, the whole Vedanta Shastra has been made. If you say there is no Ajnanam, there is no reason to come to class. No, really. That's why many people don't come. Because somebody said ignorance is bliss. Not true. What is bliss is ignorance of the fact that I am ignorant is definitely bliss. You don't know you're hurting, you don't know you're in samsara. That is wonderful. Very nice respite from everything. And then what? Once I know that I don't know, listen to this carefully. Once I know I don't know, I cannot stand myself. Whether that object of the knowledge is anything in the universe, even starting with the name of somebody that I have forgotten. Who is that person? Why is it? It's on the tip of my mind, but it's not coming out. Who is that person? What is the name of that film? What is the name of that news article? What is the name of that fruit? Something, I don't know. I can't stand it. And that's why Google made a lot of money, because it capitalized on all of us not being able to stand the Ajnanam. Yahoo, Google, all these search engines. That's how they made it. Because they gave instant information so that one never has to recollect anything. So back to this question here. So then, what about the Ajnanam when I know that I don't know myself? I cannot stand it. I cannot stand the ignorance. I cannot stand myself. And then I understand I could not stand myself for all this time. That's even worse. What is going on? It's a very big thing. And so, but here I can Google, all the things I don't know and then get the information. But Atma cannot be Googled. It's not an object of Googling. It is myself alone. So we have a little bit of a contradiction. Correct? So when I say I don't know, what am I saying? I know that I don't know. So that Atma is never covered by ignorance, because it even brings how do we know this? Because it even brings the ignorance to light. In bringing the ignorance to light, it shows it is not affected by the ignorance. Then what is affected by the ignorance? Body could care less. Body is not saying, oh, I am ignorant. Oh, help, I need knowledge. Suddenly the leg becomes a jignasu, one leg. Think about the possibility. Because if the body became, body started to have ideas, the leg becomes a jignasu. The other, one leg wants to go to Vedanta class, other leg wants to go to coffee shop. What to do, Yeah, bring your coffee to class. That's all you can say. Can't, very difficult. Same thing if one hand wanted to, do karma yoga and do seva, and on the one hand, on the other hand, it wanted to do some other, it didn't want this karma yoga at all, it didn't want knowledge, it wanted to go and, put itself in other people's businesses. So therefore, thank God that the body doesn't pursue the knowledge. Mind also doesn't pursue the knowledge. Mind suddenly doesn't wake up in the morning and leaves the body and goes in search of a guru. Oh, guru, knock, knock. Who is there? Mind. And then guru says, never mind. Yeah, mind who? Mind says, never mind. That's all it is. So, mind also doesn't go. Much less the senses. Senses don't say, oh, where is the fragrance of Vedanta class? The senses are just there. Who is the one? We are studying the Ratha Kalpana in the Kathopanishad. We should understand this very, very clearly. That the one who is going, the one who is suffering as it were from the ignorance, the one who is subject to samsara is what is called in the Rathakalpana, Rathaswami. Rathaswami means what? The owner of the body-mind-sense complex, the indweller of the body-mind-sense complex, this jiva who is as it were cloaked in ignorance. But then I thought the indweller was Atma. You are absolutely correct. Then now how did you bring in the jiva? Well, if you know, you say Atma. If you don't know, you say what? Jiva. One who doesn't know, jiva, full of peeves, piva, and you know. Yeah. So if you are like Hastamalaka, you can say Sanityopalabdhi Swarupoham. Would you like to complete the sentence? Atma. Sanityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. It's all about the tune. If I had said Sanityopalabdhi Swarupoham, see how quickly it came? Sanityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. That's what he says. He doesn't say Sanityopalabdhi, Kabhi Kabhi Upalabdhi Swarupoham Jivaha. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say I am Jiva. The one who says I am Jiva has bought into this so-called limitation, so-called adjuncts of limitation called upadhi in the form of the senses, body, mind, etc., where the Atma resides, quote unquote, again, just like the space resides as it were in the walls of the room, in the walls called the room or the pot, and therefore we call it pot space, room space, etc. So too the Atma, quote unquote, the all-pervasive Atma, as though resides in this body-mind-sense complex. If I know it, I say I am Atma or I am Atma. Aham. I am means this. And if I don't know it, I say what? Jivoham. Samsari aham. Yeah, samsarin actually. And you know, and so this is what it is. Samsarin means, what does this suffix ini, very interesting. This ini suffix means the one who is the possessor of. Yeah. Also called matup, like buddhiman, all those kinds of things. Buddhimat, shaktiman, all these things. And sometimes that matup is, if it's a short ending word, then it is replaced by ini, in. Samsaraha asya asti. This person has owned up samsara and given it a hug. Who is this? Samsarin. And that is one end of the continuum. Other end, sannyasaha asya asti iti sannyasin. Yeah. So this is what the whole thing is. This in means you are in it. That's how to remember. So the one in samsara is called samsarin. Yeah. The one barely making it and glub glub glub, in kind of just coming up for air in samsara is called samsarin. So this is what the distinction is. Atma can never be covered. Atma is hiranyamayaha, hiranmayaha. It is like gold. It can never be covered. That's what that Medha Devi, which is the Atma Swarupa, Atma Swarupini, she is also Hiranyavarna. The resplendence of gold that cannot be covered up at all. Even if you put in a dark place, gold still will be shining, And so the example of gold is used wherever the question of self, luminous, self-effulgence, resplendence is needed, because what else to compare the Atma with? Then we have a very erudite Shankaracharya called Swamini Svatmavidyananda, using this same word Hiranyavaya or Hiranyavarna in a different way. Hiranya, he takes it more as an aphorism, and he says it has nothing to do with gold. Hitam chayat or hitam chatat ramaniyam cha. Hitam means that which is comforting, beneficial. To whom? To me, to everyone. And then Ramaniyam means that which is also at the same time beautiful. This rarely happens. Think of all the medicine that is good for one, cough syrup and all these things. Or even, those Ayurvedic kashayas that they give. It looks like sludge and then it says shake well before use. It's not very clear whether you are supposed to shake or you're supposed to shake the bottle. But anyhow, you shake it and then you pour it into the dosage cup and then they say mix just 1 teaspoon of water. And then by that time it has already released a fragrance that makes you feel like running away. And then you have to go glug, glug, glug. You have to drink it facing east. At a certain time during the day, they'll tell you everything. You forget your name after you have drunk it. You forget who you are. It's just so bitter. All the taste buds you never thought you had come in the wake of swallowing this. But it is extremely good for you. It is hitam, but not ramaniyam. Yeah, not at all ramaniyam. And there are other things. Ramaniyam means gorgeous, beautiful, worth reveling in, worth keeping on staring at, worth keeping on enjoying. Ramaniya. And there are other things which are very beautiful and gorgeous and tasty, like jalebis, which are extremely bad for you. Yeah. Jalebis are these little squiggly things. All that it has is artificial color, trans fat, and sugar. That's all. Those are the 3 ingredients. With some white flour. That's all it is. That's all it is. This is jalebis. But it is extremely nice to look at. And and then basically you just take this, and it is a particular way of making it, which is wonderful to see. You take a muslin cloth and then you make this batter, this dough with some color in it, and then you have to allow it to ferment. Otherwise those squigglies don't come out properly. You allow it to ferment, and then you make a small hole at the bottom of this muslin cloth and you put it, and like icing you pipe it into hot oil in little squiggles. You can even try making om. And you make this. Oh, that's all? No. The hot oil, of course, and then just unmitigated, self-rising white flour. What is it going to do? It's going to just go, it's going to absorb the oil. And then on the side, you already have a 2-string sugar syrup. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it later, not now. And then, you have this 2-string sugar syrup waiting in the wings, hot sugar syrup right next to the stove where you are frying these things. I have seen they do it in these big, big things outside, in India, everywhere, on the roadsides. And then you take it in this big slotted spoon, huge, and you take it all, drain the oil, and then splash it into this sugar solution. And then there is a special stick that comes, you pick it out and then you hang it to dry, on a stick. It's drying. And then after that it becomes crisp on the surface and deliciously soft inside. Ramaniya. But you eat 10 of those and then go straight to hospital, not hitam. Right? Yeah. So whatever is hitam is not ramaniyam, and whatever is ramaniyam is certainly not hitam. And you see this in anything, whatever you want. Like Pujya Swamiji says this very clearly. Whatever I want is either illegal or immoral or has too many calories. This is all it is. It is not ramaniyam. If it is ramaniyam, it is not hitam. But there is only one thing that is at once hitam and ramaniyam. That which is beneficial to me and is also the most attractive. And what is that? Medha Devi, in the form of my own, the pursuit of self-knowledge. This is the only thing that is both hitam and ramaniyam. And this is why to pursue it over the jalebi. Okay? So this is what it is. So this is another derivation of Hiranya. Hitam and Ramaniyam. And so that is the derivation Swami Vidyaranya gives. Very nice. It's almost like a aphorism and like a shortcut, you know. And so here, this is, where are we now? Yeah, Hiranyavarna Jagati Jagamya. Jagati means the one who is present in the form of Jagat. So everything that is there has existence and knowledge. Sat and Chit. And here, Medha Devi, we are invoking both as that non-separate Sat Chit, Sat Chit, Sat Chit, Sat Chit everywhere. Especially that Chit. So what is this Chit? That, that intelligence which pervades everything from the lowliest of life forms to the highest life form. There is intelligence. I showed you that plant intelligence article, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, like that. The plant, and you see this in sunflowers all the time. Wherever there is sun, they will be leaning towards the sun. Especially in places like Eugene, they will lean even more. And then they will, and the creeper, when it grows, the creeper always grows towards a support. Even before it quote unquote sees, I mean, what do you mean before it sees? Does it see afterwards? No. Before it even can sense it with its leaves, it has already known that the support is in this particular angle and this far away, and it appears to be growing in that direction. And baby animals, mammals, when the mother gives birth to them, make their way to the milk, the mother's milk, without help of GPS, without wondering, oh, should I take a left here? Should I go straight here? What should I do? They don't need to program how to go to the mother's milk on the GPS, and Bhagavan doesn't give them the GPS. They're not born with GPS. The GPS is here. God protection system, that is the GPS. They know that intelligence, that Medha is there. So when you say Jagat, it's a very, what's the word for it? A brief translation to say, oh, she is in the form of the Jagat. No, it's not so simple. It's a very, very important thing to see all these ways. And so what makes the baby animal go to the milk without being guided? Because the mother is still recovering sometimes. She has labored hard, this thing has come out, already it is standing and shaking itself, and then it is hungry, it's crying. I've seen this with calves, I've seen this, on National Geographic, giraffe and all these animals. They go straight to the mother's milk. Nobody tells them what to do. That intelligence, even in this small, tiny, defenseless animal, it is there. And then you see this, especially sometimes mother has just given birth. You see this in elephants that go in groups. And then there the tiger is coming. They hear it first. And they don't know if there is one or more than one. Danger is there. The elephant bellows, trumpets, tiger is coming. And the small baby elephant is yet to still get up. And the mothers, force it, all the matriarchs, force it to get up. Because once it has to get up. This is the whole thing. And here also you see Medha Devi's intelligence, because there's one mother or some kind of grandma or matriarch. They make, without even any agreement, they just look at each other, two of these, and one of them directs this, makes a kind of, because the baby is not getting up. Either it has some birth defect, in which case nobody will be with it. After a while they will let it sacrifice, because these are the ways of the wild. They let it be sacrificed and go on. because everybody cannot be a what is that, Naivedya for Mr. Tiger. Yeah, they have to just leave this one alone because this is the survival of the fittest. But here they must have sensed that the baby is just taking a long time and nothing is wrong. First she sniffs around and kind of with her trunk pulls at the legs, maybe to give it a massage or to check out if something is happening. It's almost like a midwife or a doctor would. And then she gives it one on its back, come on, with the trunk she kind of slaps it. And then she turns around again and checks out the front leg. And being satisfied, she just looks at another elephant. And they both make some kind of a little hammock with their trunks and hoist this one up. Something to see. It's so amazing. This fellow was probably not terribly bright, and then when he was hoisted up, he said, "Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have legs. I can stand." And then he ran effortlessly along with everybody else. This is Medha Devi. We are having darshan of Medha Devi when we see such things like this. And then there was this case of these identical twins being born. And one of them was not doing very well, had some problem, and was low birth weight, not able to take breaths, was going blue, and then they had put her in breathe oxygen, and they had put her in a different incubator, and then she was really didn't look like she was going to make it through the night. And then one of the nurses, again Medha Devi, spoke through her, and she just took the infant and put it in the same crib as the sister, and put the lights and whatever else had to do, but just put it together. And then, she went away, did her other work and came back, because she said, if this baby is not going to make it, doesn't matter, but we have tried everything. And she came back half an hour later. The other sister had put an arm around this newborn baby, is holding the other one. And of course she made it. She was out of danger the next day. Who told that nurse? Put it along with a sister. And more than that, who told this newborn baby, who herself is in need of caring, put your arm and then sleep on her and give her the warmth and let her hear your heartbeat, and then she will be fine. This is Medha Devi, Jagati. And another word was used earlier, Vishwarupa, in the form of any kind of intelligence that we see in the entire universe is Medha alone. There is no one else other than Medha that is there. Jagamya we have seen in detail, the one who is worth gaining. Yeah. By whom? By the ones who have left everything behind. Yes. Medha becomes the riches for those who know the value of those riches. Yeah. But if we go after other things that are only Ramaniyam and not Hitam, the value of these riches are not understood. Yeah. Then, what kind of a cow is given here? Urjaswati. And the whole thing should be taken in one thing. I'm going to just explain one by one and then we'll see the whole thing together. Urjaswati, energetic, strong, and full of what is that? Full of strength. Payasa, with milk. Pinvamana, showering. Samam, that Medha, unto me. Supratika, the one of auspicious beginnings. Jushantam, may she bless me. And so what is this milk here? Because the milk comes in connection with the cow metaphor. Because if you start using cow, then of course you have to come to the milk, correct? Yeah. So the cow, the wish-fulfilling cow, dispenses milk in the form of boons. As effortlessly as she gives boons, she showers the people with the milk-like boons. And here too, shower me with the milk-like intelligence, this knowledge of the self. Shower me with that. And cow's milk means what? It is pure. It is white. White is the color of purity. It is a whole food. You can survive only on milk. It has everything that you need for nutrition. And so the purity, the wholesomeness, the ability to survive on it makes it an apt comparison for self-knowledge. Because that too is the purest thing, because it reveals you to be the purest thing there is. You are Shiva, free of punya and papa. You are like that milk, pure. It reveals. And then like the milk, it is, it is a whole food, purnaha. It reveals that you are whole. That's the second thing. And like the milk, if all you had was self-knowledge, you don't need anything else. Yena vijnanena sarvam vijnatam bhavet. Through which knowledge everything is as well as known. And we have seen before in other contexts that there are two kinds of knowledges. What are they?
Information. Knowledge of things that are coming.
Para and apara. Relative and absolute. Apara, relative. Para, absolute. So some apara knowledge is needed. Because otherwise how will you understand even what is being said in the class? So some apara knowledge is needed. So it should be known. But really speaking, the focus is on para. That para is that knowing which everything is as well as known. Why do we say this, and what does this really mean, knowing which as well as everything is known? And the example that is given is in the 6th chapter of the Chandogya, where Shvetaketu's father gives a very simple and a wonderful example. What is that example? Says, you know something, if you know one lump of clay, then you can distort that clay into a flute. You can make a flute out of that clay. Still it is, it as clay. You can then make it into another shape and call it pot. Still it is clay, if you know clay. Then you can make a lid out of it, some kind of a lid, covering. Then also it is clay. Then you change that and make it into a Krishna figurine. Then also it is clay alone. Ekena mritpindena sarvam mrinmayam vijnatam bhavati. Here maya means vikara, the modification of mrit. What is mrit? Mud, clay. So anything that's a modification of clay, if you know one lump of clay. So here, if you know one clump of clay, you know all the modifications. So if you know one clump of Satchidananda, a clod of Satchidananda, no clod, because what? Yeah, it's impartite. It's not some blob, shapeless, formless blob, because even blob has a shape. Even though people frequently say shapeless blob, blobness is its shape, yeah. So if you know one Satchidananda, how many are there? Ekameva. If you know Satchidananda, you know everything that is Satchidananda. How many things in the Jagat that are there which are Satchidananda? Yeah. Limitlessly, everything is Satchidananda. Everything derives its existence through Satchidananda. And if I know this Satchidananda, then I know that Satchidananda. Then I know everything. So I have to know the content of what this name and form, all these names and forms mean. The truth of these names and forms, the content of these names and forms resolve into Brahman, into Satchidananda. And that Satchidananda is revealed to be the truth of the I. And that is the closure. That brings closure to fear and sorrow. And that is the only thing to know. Here also, she is the only thing to pursue, that in the form of this milk. Because the milk nourishes. You don't need any other thing. People can live off of it. It has everything. It has protein, vitamins, everything it has. And then, so this is what the whole milk is. So like the cow showers the people with milk, may this milk giving cow of knowledge shower me with milk-like boons of Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, and Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, Karma Yoga, and then Bhakti, and then what else? Finally, this thing of self-knowledge, the milk of self-knowledge, which is the truth, which is milk of moksha, not milk of magnesium. So may she, make me understand that I am this milk of moksha. This is what it is. And then, may she shower me with that. And who is this Supratika? Means the one who has auspicious beginnings. And that's what Amam means, having come with auspicious beginnings. Because when Medha Devi enters the house or enters the buddhi in the form of one's own awareness, that I need to use the buddhi to pursue this knowledge. Even that buddhi is the blessing of Medha Devi. It's an auspicious ichha. I told you this yesterday. Shubha ichha. It is both hitam and ramaniyam. And so it's shubha. It is so auspicious. And so this Medha is never inauspicious. Goddess Medha is one who is never inauspicious. Even if she comes in the form of a robber, of the brains of the robber who has just picked your pocket or your house, it's a very auspicious thing, It's very, very auspicious. And it's a something to celebrate. Because here people try very hard to get Vairagya. And here Medha Devi has sent a person to relieve you of all the things you thought dear, so that you can immediately go to self-knowledge. This is really the way to take it. Yeah. That's what happened to me. Before I met Swamiji, just a few days before I met Swamiji, 3 or 4 days before, everything was gone. Somebody came and took everything. I was so joyous, I was so happy. I said this, and everybody thought that I was crazy, Everybody said, something is wrong with you. I said, no, this is a very auspicious thing. And first thing I did was sat and prayed for the thief. Thank you, I said. Because it was such a wonder. I said, all this is going. I don't have to do any of this anymore. This means that I'm going to meet my teacher soon, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Next 4 days later, I was on my way to Coimbatore. That is what happened. It was so beautiful. Therefore, you see, even though we think something is inauspicious, like, your whole house has been robbed, it's actually very auspicious. If you are interested in Medha, it's a very auspicious beginning. Yeah. And then, then later on, I found that there is a saying in the Upanishad, Sanyasya Shravanam Kuryat. May one study after becoming a sannyasi. You see, that is what it is. So even if Medha comes in the form of a Kutila Buddhi which is working against you, Kubuddhi, but still it is blessing, because somebody else's Kubuddhi is helping you to have Subuddhi. So never ever more many loss, because behind every loss is a secret gain that only you see and you benefit from. It's not to show off to other people. Lakshmi Devi you can show off, your monthly bank statement, Cayman account, Cayman Island account, Swiss bank account, you can show off. Medha you can't show off. I mean, you can try, you can say I'm very intelligent, I'm very brilliant, but that's not Medha really. Medha is that which is you, which once, if you really have her, you will not want to show off, because it is you. She is seen, she is there, and people who want that from you will notice that automatically. This is what it is. It's a quiet brilliance, and that is what is called the tejas of Brahma Vidya. People who study Brahma Vidya, don't think everybody looks haggard and losing sleep because they are studying, And the clothes have become grey. They were white in the beginning, but after so much washing and everything, they have become yellow and grey. No, that's not what it is. There is an inner brilliance that shines through. That a contentment, and that is called urjas, tejas, that energy, that limitless energy, and that tejas, the brilliance that shines as oneself. And that means what? Wherever Medha is, there is nothing inauspicious. Even if you have a loss, it's actually a gain. So, Samam Medha Supratika, that means the one with wonderful beginnings. Jushantam, may she bless. Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Agnis Tejo Dadhatu, Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Indra Indriyan Dadhatu, Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Suryo, Bhrajo Dadhatu. Yeah, this is a very nice ending. And what does it say? Mayi. Mayi means what? Inside me, in me. May Medha prevail in me. Medham dadhatu. May Medha prevail in me. And then Prajam. Mahi Prajam. Good progeny. Progeny here doesn't mean children. It can. But it's all about continuity. It can mean students. It can mean, any kind of a creative thing that you contribute, whatever it be. So it's all about the continuation of the parampara here. And so, since the parampara used to be continued by, children and parents and children and parents, that's why it says progeny. Not that they were interested in having children. That's not, the child itself is not important. The child becomes a prajatantu, a little, what's that, hook or a chain, a link in the chain of continuity of the lineage. And so therefore the children are seen as the wealth of the lineage, because they will tomorrow become the lineage. So that's why Mayi Prajam. It's not that, I want to have children so that I can dress them up and look at them and say how cute. No, that's not what it is. So the children are the future. The Praja becomes the future of the parampara, which subsists only through this osmosis from the parent to the child. So, Mayi Prajam, may the children be brilliant. May this knowledge of Medha Shakti, Medha Devi, the knowledge, the Vidya, and may all aspects of this Medha be continued through the progeny. And Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Agnihi, Mayi Tejaha Dadatu. So, may I get the brilliance. From whom? This prayer is through to Agni, to Lord Agni. Why Agni? Fire is equal to brilliance. So may I get that fire-like brilliance from you, O Lord Agni, and may the progeny continue this tradition as it was continued before. May it be available for many, many lifetimes to come. And obviously it was successful, because here we are studying this. So obviously this prayer was successful. So Mayi Medham Dadhatu, Mayi Prajam Dadhatu. Who? Mayi Tejas Dadhatu. From who? Agnihi Dadhatu. Because the subject here is Agni. Agnihi Dadhatu, Mayi, for me, in me. And then what? Medha, Praja and Tejas. Three things. Medha, brilliance. And what kind of brilliance? Fire-like, fiery brilliance. What is this? Not a brilliance that is sleeping. A brilliance that is awake to itself and to the things around it. A fiery brilliance where everything, where all the powers of induction, deduction, logic, everything works, because all this we need in working order. The logic is needed because we use logic even for Vedanta. And so the logic is needed, the ability to grasp all the things are needed, shiksha, pronunciation, chanting, grammar, all this become the angas for this self-knowledge. Angas means satellites for the self-knowledge, and all of them are very important. So the fiery brilliance which will allow me to hold and process this knowledge, to understand the various, how the aspects of this knowledge relate to one another, to be able to deduce what is to be deduced, and to not even to attempt to deduce that which is not a subject for deduction, that viveka. All this, may Bhagavan fire give me, may it abide in me. And then Mayi Medha Mayi Prajam Mayi Indraha Indriyam Dadhatu. And now the next prayer is to Lord Indra. Again we ask for three things. What do we ask for? What are the two things which are common? Intelligence, intelligence, and the progeny that will continue this lineage. And then finally, from Lord Indra, the gatekeeper of heaven, we ask for Indriyam. Indriyam means a kind of an ability to rule, a certain command over the subject, where you are kingly in your brilliance. So first was fiery brilliance, and then a kind of a royal brilliance, because what is the use of brilliance if you're just hiding, behind a wall, like a shy wallflower or a frightened person. All the time, the brilliance is used up in worrying what is going to come and what is going to, every noise, the person is just shaking like an aspen tree. That is of no use. The brilliance is there. But what has happened? It has been inhibited by confidence. It has been inhibited by lack of self-esteem. It has been inhibited by the ability to believe in oneself. It has been inhibited by other cares and fears, that one is not enough, so many things. So give me an unfettered brilliance with which I can rule, because the brilliance is there, but the hesitation is gone. That is the thing. This is a very beautiful thing, because Indra doesn't hesitate. Do you belong here or not? Let me think. Such a long silence, I'm feeling awkward. Okay, what to do? And then I have to cover up that I don't know, and because I can't see your name on the list, but then you look like you belong. So Indra doesn't do all that. There is a certain command, a command over the subject matter, a command over oneself, and that command is there, where one has like that emperor-like presence with regard to one's intelligence. In Sanskrit, it's called adhipatyam. Adhipatihi. Adhipati means the mastery, master. Adhipatyam means mastery. A certain mastery. Give me that mastery. May I be the Swami of my Medha. That is the thing, And then, finally, Indra Indriyam Dadhatu. Very important. Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Suryo, Bhrajo Dadhatu. Same three things, same two things are asked. What are the common things? Medha, intelligence, knowledge, and then the progeny to continue this parampara, and then finally Bhrajah Dadatu. Bhraj, to shine like the sun, Surya. The third prayer is addressed to Lord Surya, the sun. Bhrajah Dadatu. Now you can say that this is redundant, because what is the sun other than fire? It's a big ball of fire, and we have already prayed to Lord Fire in the beginning, and there we have said, give us Tejas. So what is the difference between Tejas and Bhraj? What is the difference? There is a difference. The fiery intelligence, we already talked about, that is what it is. Here, Bhraj, like a slight pun, on the word bridge. Yeah, slight pun. And you can see that because in both instances the sun is brought in as a Adhishthana Devata. In the Gayatri mantra, he is called Bharga, from bridge, Dahane, the one who burns up. Bhraj also, the one who consumes with brilliance. What does this brilliance consume? What does Medha consume? Avidya. Jnanagni. Bhasmasat kurute. And along with avidya, what else is gone? The whole broods, the progeny of avidya. Here we are not saying that progeny. Yeah, in fact, the word progeny is from praja, really. And so we are talking of the progeny of avidya. What is the life cycle of and the genealogy of avidya? Kama, karma, and then kama, karma, and then this one, karma phala in the form of papa punya, and then punarjanma. All that is consumed. Just like the scorching heat of the sun just uproots and consumes certain things and dries up. Shoshayati, it dries everything up, evaporates. So like this, may this brilliance evaporate, this big sludgy body of water called samsara. May this brilliance evaporate samsara. So nice, so nice. So what kind of brilliance? Bhraj, to shine without leaving any residue. Of course, the nature of the sun is self-shining, but we have to give it a slightly different meaning because otherwise it will become a redundancy, and it's not redundant. So in fact it is very reminiscent of the Gayatri mantra, which is also chanted for intelligence. And in the Gayatri mantra, what do we say? Bhargaha, tatnaha bhargaha prachodayat. Bhargaha, tat savitur varenyam dhiyaha naha bhargo devasya dhimahi. Bhargaha, who is the self-shining, self-effulgent, the one who burns through all papa punya. Jnanagni sarva karmani, and all the karmas are gone as a result. If karta is burnt up, then how can karmas exist without karta? It's like a dead person getting votes. The person stood for election and then unfortunately did not make it to see election day, but it was too late to remove the name from the ballot. Then the people were so disgusted with the government and whoever else was standing that they gave all the votes to this dead man and made him win. What is the use? So too all the karmas collected in the account of a dead karta. Oh, I am going to die as a result of medha. Not you. Kartritvam is going to die. The sense of doership, the pressure to identify oneself only as the doer, only in terms of the doer, or the bhokta in terms of the experiencer. That pressure is burnt up, and then with that pressure goes all the karmas. All the karmas means what? How many kinds of karmas are there? 3. So what all goes? Sanchita goes, because there is no more causal body which holds the sanchita. Karana shariram is not there, ajnanam is not there. Sanchita is struck off, I told you. Gupta ji, Chitragupta has a tea break because he says, one less person to worry about. Thank God I don't have to think what kind of incarnation I'll give this fellow, this jiva next time. Done, cross. The file goes under, under a out box. Yeah, this jiva is out. Yeah, file closed, case closed. No sanchita. Then agami. What agami? There is no agami for this person. Because the person has led a life of dharma and knowledge, so the person is not going to cross dharma at any cost. So no agami karma is there. And all the punya, if the person is teaching, goes to the students. So no punya is also accrued. Correct? Yeah. No, but what if teacher, unwittingly steps on one ant? Maybe doesn't want to do papa, but unwittingly does papa. How it will go? Who does the karma go to? The students who abuse the teacher. Yeah. Where does it say this? Tattva bodha. Students who do ninda of the teacher, they will get the small papas. Maybe the teacher stepped on one ant, or did something like that, small, whatever, unknowingly. So therefore, this is so that the agami karma is not there. Oh, but prarabdha is there. Is there from whose perspective? From the perspective of the people who continue to witness the body of the teacher, the mind of the teacher, and the various illnesses and the hospitalizations of the teacher. Yeah. So from that standpoint, the prarabdha is there for the person from the standpoint of the people who are witnessing it, because they want a way to account for why a jnani is falling sick, and they are not understanding that the jnani is not falling sick. Oh, but the body is falling sick. Let it fall sick. What is the, Oh, but the body is falling sick because of what? They will ask. And so for such askers we say prarabdha. But the jnani herself or himself, from the standpoint of the jnani, there is no prarabdha. No, but the body continues. Yeah, the body continues, but the person was not identifying with the body. And the body was who came along, correct? But it is still going along. That's all it is. So from the point of the view of the jnani, who does not identify with the body, there is what prarabdha? There is no prarabdha. That's all it is. And so all karmas, jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. And this, sati, the sat pratyaya, sati kartsnye, there is one sutra. Kartsnyam means, very difficult word. Kartsnyam, say it. Kartsnyam means completely, fully without a residue. So when the sat pratyaya comes, sati kartsnye, in the sense of completion. So bhasmasat means without leaving a small residue of ajnanam, so that it can then, flower in the teardrops of samsara and come up again. No. It's totally destroyed. This is a very important thing. Bhasmasat, bhasmi karoti, reduces to ashes. And then you can be wearing the ashes like Lord Shiva. Yes, there used to be a body. That is the meaning of the ashes. Yes, there used to be a mind. And now it just comes along. That's all it is. And so, this is what Surya made the Surya dry up this ocean of samsara. May this Medha, who shines like the sun, may she dry up this ocean of samsara, which is nothing but a notion. Om Medha Devi,
Om Medha Devi,
Dushamana Naagat,
Jushamana Naagat,
Vishvachi Bhadra,
Vishvachi Bhadra,
Sumanasya Mana,
Sumanasya Mana.
Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yanksho Bharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaah Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. That was the last class of the 1 month course. I am glad that all of you were able to join. I will ask for questions. If there are any questions, you can now ask both online and here. Jignasu. Jignasa means desire for knowledge. Jignasu means desirer of knowledge. Not any knowledge, knowledge of the self. No, it's not a stopping, it's just taking a break. Yeah. We'll be back. Medham is object, case of Medha. So Medha and Maya. Maya is when Medha is unknown, she is Maya. When Maya is known, she is Medha. The relationship between Medha and Maya is the relationship between knowledge and ignorance. Good question.
Only at the end of Medha Devi, there is a...
Oh, yeah. Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Paramahamsaya Dhimahi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat. Yeah, that is a very sacred chant. It means that Hamsa is a bird. It's a celestial, kind of a swan-like. It's a mythical bird. It's not really really there. And it is purported to have the ability that if you mix milk and water and feed it, it will take the milk and leave the water. And so that Hamsa, the ability to sift through the truth, Asat and Sat, and take in only the Sat, we invoke. And Paramahamsa is the one who is, who has all the qualities of that Hamsa. Paramahamsa is used, the kind, sannyasi is called Paramahamsa. So Paramahamsa, to the one who embodies this, to that sannyasa lineage and to the sannyasi who embodies this, we invoke. And this Hamsa, this Hamsatvam, the ability to sift, may we have. And also Hamsa, Soham, Hamsa, that is there is a little play on that. So that is what it is. So the sifting, first sifting, then uniting. You see? Yeah. Very sacred chant. This is a very nice question. I can't seem to sleep since I heard that Lakshmi has a twin sister called Alakshmi. No, there is no such, you can now, today you will be able to sleep, no problem. Alakshmi is the shadow side of Lakshmi. Yeah, she is not real. She just drags on and goes wherever Lakshmi is. And in a way, she is a sad little person, because even though she has the richest person as the twin sister, is not able to enjoy those riches. That's what it is. So Alakshmi means, metaphorically stands for a person with discontentment, fear and scarcity mentality. So if we drive away Alakshmi, that means we are driving away these three things, whether they exist in us, whether they exist around us. So that is what Alakshmi is. Yeah. And Lakshmi wants to share. But you can only share when the other person wants to receive. Yeah, you can't force it down the throat with a stick, it's not going to work. Yeah, because the person in Vietnam, there is a festival called a Hungry Ghost Festival. Thailand, Vietnam, they do this in what we call Pitru Paksha in September. They also have this, I think it's an offshoot of Hinduism. And then I was wondering, what is this hungry ghost? They have a picture of this hungry ghost who has a needle in the form of a throat. Needle throat, but big belly. Big belly, always hungry, but you cannot feed the person, because if you give them, a whole kadhai of jalebis, they are not satisfied because they cannot eat. They cannot receive. It's a non-receptivity. Alakshmi is non-receptivity and not wanting to change from being completely confined to the scarcity mentality. That is Alakshmi. Yeah. So metaphorical. Moksha. Who gets moksha? Karma yogi or jnana yogi? You told me by... no, I said jnanena eva moksha. Yeah. But jnana yoga is a tough path to choose and there are very few souls. Yes, yes. No, there is no contradiction here. The difference is between, not between jnana and karma yoga, but between karma yoga and jnana yoga. So yoga here means lifestyle. So you are absolutely correct. And jnana yoga means a lifestyle of sannyasa where all one does is keep quiet and study, and then both of which are difficult to do. And then the karma yoga means where I focus on the knowledge, but I use other aspects of my life and relationships in my life to gain the maturity to get the knowledge. And both jnana yogi has to study and karma yogi also has to study. But the difference is that all that the jnana yogi does is only study, the karma yogi does other things as well. Yeah. Jnanena eva moksha. That is true. But jnana yoga and karma yoga are two committed lifestyles to gain the knowledge, really. So karma yogi also has to study, jnana yogi also has to study. I hope that clarifies it. Good question. That's all? Okay. So one reminder before you all go, tomorrow 7:30 we have a valedictory session, and if you have been taking the classes regularly and you would want to get a certificate, please email me just now. That's all I will say, so that I can have that ready for you, because not many people I have been getting emails from. But that's probably okay if you don't want it. But if you want it, you can send it to me and I will, you will get a certificate. Okay? All right. Now, Ganapati Upanishad we have finished. Yeah. Ganapati Upanishad. Ganapati's grace shone on us and helped us finish it quickly. If you want me to go, I may conclude with a few words from there, because we sped through the Phalashruti. Yeah, so that's okay. Maybe I will talk about little bit about the Phalashruti if you want. I can do that. It's not a problem. Yeah. So 7:30 to 8:30 or maybe 9 o'clock. You come tomorrow. Our time 7:30 Western time. So whatever time it is for you, you come at that time. Okay? Any other questions? One more question. Okay, I will wait. Are the videos available on live stream? Yes. Yes, they will all be available. You can watch each one and you can revise them and catch up on what you have missed. Oh, thank you.